Welcome to Martial Arts Swap Chat. I'm your host, Master Zang, and today's episode is based off of karate. But I have special news today. We're gonna put a twist to our episode, and we're gonna actually spin it twice. So you're gonna get 2 for 1 today. So we're gonna spin it one more time, and we're gonna actually feature 2 martial arts in one show. So let's spin it and find out. So we have karate, and karate will be matched up with Tang Soo Do. So karate and Tang Soo Do. Stay tuned for our show. Today's an awesome episode. Not only are we going to talk about one martial art, we get 2. So it's the 2 for 1. We're going to talk about karate and Tang Soo Do. We have special moves of the day. We also have the famous Kimchi Challenge, and we have a special surprise challenge for you at the end. So stay tuned. Let's start with our special guest. We have legendary Grandmaster Joe Goss.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, sir. And we have his son, who's also a successful competitor, owns a school. He's been around too. He has great success in Tang Soo Do. Master Joe Goss. Thanks for coming, sir.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so I think it's pretty awesome that we have a father-son duo. I mean, I have kids, and I hope some of my kids.
I have kids too.
Yeah, all right. And I hope they, I hope they pass the torch. So this is really special for me. Real quick, let's start with karate. Okay, so we're going to be talking about karate and Tang Soo Do. Grandmaster Goss, he is the wisest here. He's been doing martial arts since what? When did you start, sir?
1962.
1962. So that's, I mean, you're pretty much a pioneer then.
Well,
I mean, in a good way.
In
Yes,
my
sir.
area, I was. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When I started, if you would have said karate, well, I'll give you an example. I told a classmate that I was taking judo and karate at the YMCA. And he said to me, well, I know what judo is, but I've never heard of karate. They had never heard of the word. And on the West Coast, it might have been different, but generally, it was completely unknown.
That is amazing. 1962, guys, they didn't even know the word karate. So now everyone says karate.
And judo was judo chop. I mean, they didn't know anything really about judo. Just Austin Powers judo chop is what they thought of when you said judo. And they were actually confusing the sudo that comes from karate to having to do with judo because they had no clues what that was.
Yes, sir. So can you tell us like the origin of karate, a little bit about karate?
Yeah. Well, all linear martial art generally, the textbook version is that it started in China and then it spread through the rest of the East. Linear karate as we know it, and linear martial art, whether it's Tang Soo Do or Taekwondo, this came from Okinawa. And the Okinawans practiced it, and Okinawa's a very, very small place, it's not very big. And they developed their hands and feet in the weapon and developed certain techniques so that they could defend their king. Because the king, in a very bad move, went and banned weapons on the island, took all the swords, spears, that sort of thing, locked them up in a warehouse, and because he wanted to ensure that somebody wouldn't overthrow him. And then when Okinawa got invaded by the Japanese back in the days of the samurai, they had no way to stop them. So then the king of Okinawa became just a figurehead. And it was that way up until about 1903, I think. In 1921, Gichin Funakoshi introduced karate into Japan.
So is he like the founder of karate then?
Yeah,
they came up with the name?
He's considered to be the, originally it was called Tode-Do. And the Tode-Do character is the way Tang Soo Do is written in Chinese. The Chinese characters for Tang Soo Do is pronounced Tode-Do. in Japanese.
Sir.
So at one point they wrote it that way. They wrote it empty hand weight first, then they wrote Tode-Do, and then they went back to the empty hand weight. But some of Gichin Funakoshi's first Dan certificates have it written in Chinese the same way we write Tang Soo Do today.
Okay, wow.
And then the Koreans got it from the Okinawans as well. Then the Koreans added their own techniques, like a back wheel kick. When I started, no one did back wheel kick. You rarely did a back kick, spinning anyway.
Sir.
And then later, the Koreans introduced it.
And that's what we're going to get into at Tang Soo Do. So karate started in Japan, or Okinawa.
Okinawa.
And Okinawa is the South Island below Japan.
The Ryukyu Island chains below Japan.
Yes, sir. And does karate mean something? Is that a Japanese word for, what does it mean? The word karate.
The way it's written in Japanese or in Chinese characters today, it means the way of the empty hand.
The way of the empty hand.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you don't use weapons.
Right.
That means that the empty comes from a Buddhist concept of emptying yourself in order to receive knowledge.
Ah, yes, sir.
Okay. And the Tang Soo Do was a little bit, well, that, like I said, that was the original way it was written until they changed it to mean empty. Tang Soo Do meant the way of the Chinese hand.
The way of the Chinese hand. Now, where does Tang Soo Do? Because the viewers probably don't even know it. Maybe they don't know what Tang Soo Do is. So where is Tang Soo Do? Where does it originate? And
well, it came from the Okinawans as well. This isn't commonly known, but in 1905, when the Japanese had a war with Russia, they took over Korea, Manchuria, and the peninsula that comes down off of the continent that belonged to Russia. And they had that up until the end of World War II. So you had Okinawans going to Korea and China, and so they spread what they did.
Right.
Grandmaster Gi was friends with Gogen Yamaguchi, who was the founder of the Goju-Ryu system. They were both worked on the railroad, from my understanding.
No, Grandmaster Gi, is it Ki?
Yeah, Gi.
Gi.
Yeah.
So he came up.
He founded Tang Soo Do Mudakwon.
And he came up with the name Tang Soo Do?
Well, Tang Soo Do is just simply the reading of those three Chinese characters.
Okay. So he formatted the art.
What they did was the Koreans took a lot of the Japanese martial art they learned, especially the hand technique, stances and such, and combined it then with kicking technique indigenous to the Korean people.
Right.
So yeah, and that's basically what Tang Soo Do is.
So we had a guest, a lot of the guests, we don't talk about the history of martial arts, but it sounds like karate, Tang Soo Do, they're all kind of coming from the same place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would say maybe China, right? Or a mix of Japan and China and Korea.
There were a lot of the early Okinawan masters would be considered the people who founded karate-style martial art, had gotten training that came out of southern China. They had trained in White Crane Kung Fu, as an example of that. And then they kind of changed what they were taught there and combined it with some indigenous Okinawan martial art, and that's basically karate.
So that's a big difference between Tang Soo Do and karate is the kicking then.
Yeah, well, especially years ago.
It used to be.
It used to be, but not anymore. I went to a training camp in Philadelphia that Master Okazaki conducted. It was a week long. We trained for a week, and there were other Japanese instructors there. And at that time, that was in the 70s, I think. And at that time, I remember watching a couple of the Japanese masters practicing back wheel kick.
Right.
Now, when I trained in California, I would go to Nishiyama School on Olympic Boulevard in LA. And when I trained there, we never did a back kick spinning. We were taught never to turn our back to our opponent.
Right.
So it was basically front kick, reverse punch, side kick. If you back kicked, it was because someone was behind you and you were going to kick them.
Right.
You didn't do a spin back kick. And so it changed just in that time period. That would have been about 65 to the 70s, where they were, because people aren't stupid.
Well, they adapt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
if it works.
they go to a tournament and they see maybe Taekwondo people out there, and they're hitting people with back wheel kick, and they say, oh, that looks pretty good. I'll try that. And then, like Master C.S. Kim always told me, if he sees something good, then he's going to do it too.
Right. So you could honestly say, you've seen the martial arts evolve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's in a good way, and sometimes maybe not in a good way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as technique-wise, I would say that today, the people who compete today are much better than the people who competed years ago. They're much faster and cleaner technique and everything.
Right.
And I don't think someone like say Chuck Norris would even argue that, because he started back then too. He was back in the 60s, and if you can watch video from back then of people spar compared to video of people today, they're much.
I just watched some earlier today.
Oh, did you?
Chuck Norris. I did.
I thought he was pretty good.
I was watching him fight, but I was thinking that I think if you somehow time traveled somebody from now, a tournament competitor now, a good one, to back then, he would have done very well for himself. Right. The guy from today would have done very well.
Now, that being said, Chuck Norris didn't wear pads too. So
No,
pads
they
were invented in the 70s, right? Or 80s. So maybe the toughness, Chuck Norris could still.
No, he beat a lot of people.
Right.
He did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But as far as pads, I remember back when they started wearing like shin pads. First pads that I ever wore, they protected your shin and instep, and they were made of cloth. I don't know if you remember the old cloth with the foam in it. And then they went just on the forearm. So I got some. My students wanted them.
Was it like cutting edge? You're like, oh, we gotta try these.
It's like the one guy, he throws a punch and the other person blocked.
Right.
And we blocked hard, punched hard, blocked hard. So you always had lumps,
Right.
And one student said to me, wow, it doesn't hurt. I said, yeah. I said, back in my day, what we used to protect us was called skin. And it didn't work well,
Right. So
it wasn't very efficient, skin. I'm not even to this day, we don't, at the school, when they spar, they don't wear pads. Right. It's just, and I'll tell you what happens when you don't wear pads. You don't have people beating the crap out of each other.
Right.
And you don't have people hitting each other. You put pads on and pretty soon they start, and then the technique goes downhill when they wear pads.
Right.
When they don't wear pads, their technique's a lot cleaner.
Yes, sir.
You were telling me about some MMA guy who would like to see no gloves.
A lot of them are talking about wearing their gloves just so that
more
punching becomes cleaner, and you wouldn't see as much of it. So there's less head trauma, is what they're talking about. Yeah.
No, I mean, I thoroughly enjoy watching two traditional martial arts use control, but you could see if they didn't have the control, it'd be very dangerous.
Right.
So, now, real quick, just to wrap up this portion, I just think it's so unique that. So he started in 1962. 1962, guys. Do the math. That's amazing. He's watched martial arts just evolve into something completely different, right? And here his son. You probably started when you could walk, right?
I was always at the dojang. I was raised in one because the way the dojang's set up, our house was right next door. So, it was not only where I went to train, but I have to admit, as a real little kid, I did a lot of playing in there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you probably had a lot of people that they like to play with you and hang out with you.
Yeah, no, we have photographs of me before I actually started officially training. Somebody holding something for me and I'm round kicking it, and they'd teach me things like that. And,
At the time he started, I had both judo and karate taught at my school.
Wow.
And I had two judo instructors teach it. Although I have a black belt in judo, I had that class actually going on the same time as my karate class.
Wow.
So.
You know, we have a photograph of him teaching me how to break fall, and I must have been like 3 years old. But it's good I got started then, because Lord knows he's thrown me around enough over the years that, you know what I mean?
He was prepping you for those demonstrations, those lessons.
Hey, I needed someone I could bounce off.
Now, what is it like doing martial arts that long, and now you see, I mean, your son's an adult, and he's had great success.
He's an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man. So how do you like? I mean, can you tell us how you feel about that? Because I mean, without crying, because I think it's super awesome. Like, it's a rare thing, because I do meet people, and I see a lot of people where their kids get burned out, and I could I mean, I was always friends with Master Goss, and he has great passion towards the art, and he's a good ambassador for the arts. So, what can you tell us?
A lot of the credit goes to my wife, because he, you know, as any little kid, you know, they want to play with their friends, or they want to do something, and he would go to the school, and then maybe he'd say to my wife, well, I want to go tonight, John and I, we want to play Nintendo or whatever.
Right.
And,
I was way before Nintendo, so
Atari.
I was. I don't think Atari existed yet.
Before Atari.
They
it
would
was
want,
Atari.
They would want to play or something, and my wife would say to him, okay, you don't have to go tonight, but you're going tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And he would go, and it was like a deal they made. It wasn't like, okay, now the next day he would yammer, because he knew no. And so, you know, like, they have to, parents have to be dedicated. To today, and since I'm an old man, I'm 71, today, parents give their children too much of a choice. Well, he doesn't want to do it anymore. What's a kid know about what he wants to do? All a kid wants to do is have fun. You have to make sure that they're prepared for the future. And you can have fun in martial art. And especially if he wasn't setting the world on fire when he started.
No, sir.
He didn't start doing that till he was about 12, 13 or so. And because he was tall, he always, taller than all the other kids, he always got ripped off at the tournament. Because he'd be like a head or more taller than everybody else, and some mother would come complain, and they'd move him in a division where the kids were 3 years older than him.
Yes, sir. I did a lot of fighting 12 and 13-year-olds at 8 and 9.
Oh,
I did, yeah.
That's
and you know, he'd have tears in his eyes, and I'd say to him, well, you know, someday they're not going to be able to stick you anywhere.
Right.
And that day came, I think, at Dominic Giacobbe's tournament out in New Jersey. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 15. You're 15?
15, yes, sir.
And he said, I'm going to fight in the adult division. Nobody asked him what his age was.
But you were all prepped from all of your previous tournaments.
That tournament, I think I fought the adults. I didn't do well fighting. Forms, I took grand champion at that one, and it was the same kind of thing.
And that was at Bally's Casino?
I don't remember where we were.
No, I think it was a school something.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I remember
I don't remember.
But then he had he had a trophy from sparring and his grand champion trophy, and I walked up to him and I said, well, now there's no place for them to put you.
You know, really, guys, I guess the message here is behind a great martial artist is a great wife. So,
Yes.
Mrs. Goss should have been here too. Hey, guys, awesome. I could talk to these guys forever. They're very genuine. They're amazing martial artists, and we're gonna actually have quite a few fun surprises. We have the Kimchi Challenge. We have the special bonus. Special bonus competition.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So stay tuned, guys. Welcome to Martial Art Swap Chat. I'm your host, Master Zang. Hey, today's special visitors are Grandmaster Joe Goss, Master Joe Goss Jr. from Joe Goss Karate. Did you see that kick? That was amazing. I couldn't hold it any higher, guys. So these guys actually Grandmaster Goss has some words of wisdom. So everyone open your ears and listen hard.
Consistency. Without consistency, you'll never be a good martial artist, much less a great one. Consistency is the key to martial art training. Regular training on a consistent schedule, and that applies to parents the most. In order to get their children to class, you have to be consistent as well. Remember when you were 9? Vaguely. And you were doing just that kick.
Yes, sir.
And it was in class, and I came over to you, and you were doing some goofy thing where the foot came back, and I said, no, it has to be like this.
I did a lot of goofy things back then.
That's true. And then you said, well, I can't do that.
Yes, sir.
And I think I even said what my dad used to say, can't, never did anything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But you were able to do it because you stuck with it and you didn't quit.
Yes, sir. Now it's one of my favorite kicks.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
sir.
about that?
Yeah.
You hear that, guys? Consistency. You heard it right here. This is so cool how we have a father-son. Sorry to interrupt that father-son moment.
That's okay.
But consistency, guys. Don't ever give up. Stay with it.
Absolutely.
Today, guys, we have the move of the day with karate, and it's going to be the ridge hand. Teaching us that is Grandmaster Joe Goss.
When you do a ridge hand, you want to use this part of your hand. It's the opposite of a knife hand or a pseudo. This part. Thumb has to be tucked this way, down in, unlike a pseudo where the thumb is here. You want to get the thumb out of the way so that you're striking with this part of the metatarsal knuckle. The wrist is slightly bent so that this is forward when you strike. When I was 15 and I was training, I had a person who had just won the Golden Gloves, and he wanted to fight with me. And I told him I don't box, and he said, well, you can do, well, they didn't know karate when I was a young man. They knew judo. And so I said, okay. He threw one punch, and it dropped him. The person attacked with a punch, you want to slightly move to the side, block, and then come around this way and strike. You can strike here, you can strike here, here, into any of the vital areas on the head. You could even strike into the solar plexus. Again, slowly, he attacks, you move slightly to the side, and strike. Now this time, normal speed. And that's ridge hand.
And we have our Tang Soo Do move of the day. With us, Master Joe Goss Jr. He's going to teach us the middle level knife hand block, or in Taekwondo terms, we call it double knife hand guardian block.
Sir. So this is going to be Chongdan Sudo Maki is what we call it, middle level knife hand block. When most people are doing knife hand block, position ends up here. And this hand ends up being the blocking hand. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you a way you can use this part as the strike and the opening motion of the movement as the block. So, what we're doing with this is we're looking at it more from a fighting perspective. like a fight out in the street somewhere, where he's throwing kind of a wild punch, not a trained punch like a boxer would throw or somebody doing martial art, but just a wild kind of haymaker punch. What I'm doing with this, when he comes in for the punch, my arms are coming this way and pulling down here. And most Tang Soo Do, hands are starting here or somewhere close to here, depending on what Tang Soo Do organization you belong to. But the hands come to here. This is the controlling part of the motion. If you notice, I'm grabbing with my left hand at this point. Some Tang Soo Do, they lift their knee when they step forward. If you lift your knee, you can slam a knee in here at this point, come forward with the technique, and then you're striking. And the strike can come in at this point, side of the neck. If his head was still up looking at me, I could be striking into the side of the face or side of the head. So, if we do this again slow, he comes in, I'm coming this way. Again, grabbing with my left, pulling it down to my waist to help off balance him. Then, if I lift my knee when I step, I slam that in there. As I step forward, my left hand's moving forward in front of the solar plexus, and then hitting the neck. This is the controlling hand, this is the striking hand. So again, one more time. It's going to be that fast, yes. So, here, here.
There you have it. That's the middle level knife hand block.
Kimchi yes, kimchi no. Kimchi yes. Is this no?
Kimchi yes, kimchi no. Every week on this show, will it be spicy or hot? Kimchi yes or not? Which guess will be the next to put the kimchi to the test? Kimchi. Hey guys, Master Goss is in the house. Are you ready for the kimchi challenge?
Maybe.
All right, grab your paddle.
You have at least one, well, two things I like.
Okay.
One I love, one I like, and
Yeah,
we'll see how they are together.
Positive and positive, right? Here we go. Ready? Kimchi yes.
Kimchi no.
Kimchi yes.
Kimchi no.
Hey guys, we have chocolate chip cookies. That's Master Goss's favorite. And also one of his favorites is kimchi. So we have the special kimchi chocolate chip cookie. All right, here we go. Look at that. You're never going to see that anywhere in this world. Look at that. Is that good?
And however much you want to put on there.
I think you're full.
Master Zang, you can go for it if you want to.
Well, I want you to taste the cookie. So I'm just going to give you a layer. And, oh, I got the green cabbage. Hold on a second. All right, I think. Is that all right? We look even? Even, Steven? We're going to try this out. So, hey guys, we have kimchi chocolate chip cookie.
Mine's a little crumbly.
You gotta get underneath it. All right, ready?
Is there a countdown for this or something?
Yeah, we usually go, well, this is common crayon. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, set.
I'm still chewing.
Well, the cookie's really good. And the kimchi's really good. I'm always kind of confused, but I have to say it's not that.
That's an
bad.
accurate description. Confusion. I'm just spitting all over myself. Yeah, confusion. Yeah.
My mind's like the cookie, yes.
The
kimchi, yes.
It was kimchi with a chocolate chip cookie aftertaste.
Yeah,
Isn't that what it was?
I'm gonna try one more little piece. Even having a wet piece of cabbage on top of it, it's still edible, right? Or maybe not.
Yeah, it goes back and forth. You'll taste the chocolate chips and the cookie, and then you're tasting the kimchi, and then it goes back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think it's really a
It doesn't mesh well.
Yeah, but, you know, the sweet and the spicy actually go well, I guess, right? But I don't think this is working. So, are you ready for the verdict?
I was going to eat some more of the cookie.
Yeah, let me get another piece of the cookie. So, all right.
I am really down with chocolate chip cookies.
Kimchi yes?
Kimchi no.
Kimchi yes?
Kimchi no.
It's not
No.
happening. Not happening.
No.
Hey guys, I'm kind of hiding in between these trophies. I have Master Goss with me, and we're about to do our special 2-part challenge. So, later on, you're going to see Master Goss and I battle in our first ever martial arts swap chat sparring title. But a title is no good without the actual award in itself. So we both love nice trophies, but we also we love ugly trophies. So I asked Master Goss, I said, hey, if we're going to do this right, let's just search in your school, find the ugliest trophy you can find. And this is what we came up with. So let's just go through these trophies real quick. We're going to pick the trophy, and then that trophy is going to be the coveted Martial Arts Swap Chat Sparring title. So, Master Goss, thank you. Let's just go. We'll go from this, the smallest to the tallest. So first up, we got a beautiful silver paper label.
It is paper.
It is paper. So hey, the paper lasted.
Not
it
the
says
smartest way to do
91.
one.
Trophy number 2. We have the inspired Cleveland Browns trophy. This is like, I think maybe a 70s themed trophy.
I noticed earlier too. It's a little sticky on the front.
It's sticky.
Did you? Pepsi was spilled on this or something?
Let's see what year this is. This is this is 1988. That looks pretty good for 1980. I probably did spill some Pepsi.
Was Tab around in 1980? Maybe it's Tab
or Crush. Right. Okay, trophy number 3. I was talking to Master Goss about this. We both taught in places where we put trophies in the front of our window, right?
Stupidly.
And this is what happens, guys. This is not a glow-in-the-dark trophy. The sun completely just melted the gold-plated plastic off. So
most of my trophies are gone because of that. Yeah.
And this is a nice brown, trophy. This is actually from 1986. So
you won both of these?
I won those two beautiful.
You were probably so proud at the time.
I was proud. I was proud. And let me tell you, all right, so we got junior advanced, and then this one is Pee-wee advanced. Do you believe I was in a Pee-wee advanced division? What kind of name is that? Pee-wee. I was like a little kid going, hey mom, look, I won the Pee-wee championship. So can you tell us a little bit about this trophy? We're missing an eagle here. Look at that wobble.
You could call that one vintage. It's from 1978.
I think because this is an epic battle. Like, we've always somehow just never had the chance to battle each other. Here we go. It's official. We got the martial arts swap chat logo, the ugliest.
Yes, sir. You said it.
And I think I would gladly battle you for this beautiful, ugly trophy. I'm gonna fight hard. You gonna fight hard?
Well, you have to for that trophy.
All right, here we go. So we're gonna do our little showdown. Now, like most times, if you watch like a professional fight, they're like real serious. But hey, we're friends here. We smile because we'll let the action speak for itself. So we're actually having the first ever Martial Arts Swap Chat Sparring Championship. So I have a legendary competitor, Master Goss. He actually challenged me. And we're going to compete for the coveted Ugliest Trophy. You ready to do this?
Absolutely.
So we have a legendary referee. We have Grandmaster Goss. There's going to be no favoritism, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Never once in my life.
All right. Are we wearing pads?
I don't do pads.
No pads.
No.
Okay. How about mouthpiece?
I don't know one.
All right, guys. Wish me luck. Here we go. Sir.
Okay, face me. Ho! Face each other. Up! I need position.
Hey, wait. Did
Begin.
you sound the release one?
Oh, heck no.
Well, I don't know what happened. It looked like a draw to me, so I guess you both get the trophy.
How did you do that, sir?
I'm not even sure what I did. I don't know what you smacked me with, Master Zang, but next time, mouth guard.
I'll tell you what. Much respect. That was
Yes,
amazing.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hey, the first ever Martial Arts Swap Chat Championship. It's a draw. Welcome to Martial Arts Swap Chat. I'm your host, Master Zang. Hey guys, What an amazing show. We are here at the Wheel of Combat the second time. So I hope you enjoyed our show. I know I did. Thank you so much to Grandmaster Joe Goss and Master Joe Goss Jr. and Joe Goss Karate. Boy, I learned so much. Hey, we put 2 martial arts in one show. You got the 2-for-1. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey guys, remember, always like, subscribe to this channel, comment down below, give this video a big thumbs up, and we are about to spin the wheel again. This is like a record in this show. So, we're going to go from Tang Soo Do, and we're going to see where we swap to next. Kung Fu! Alright guys, hey, we have a special guest for our next show. It's Mr. Pang he's going to show us a little bit about Kung Fu. So, stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great time. As always, Master Zang out. Whatcha?